What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time since I made a video, so there may be a lot of you out there who are welcoming me back to my own channel. And for that, I thank you. It feels like I feel like the last time I made a video was Thanksgiving, which I know is probably wrong. I don't know when the last time I made a video was. I think it was like a month ago, but it feels like a lot longer than that. It's just been, winter time. I'm getting older. Maybe I feel like I'm just hibernating. All I seem to want to do anymore is eat, sleep, lay around, wait for the cold weather to go by. So I feel like that's what I've done. I was pretty successful at that. But I'm back. And today we're going to open up a Mattel Creations that I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know nothing about it. Don't know the first thing about this figure. My two things that I collect, as you can see, are wrestling and Motu. That's what I like, that's what I love, that's what I collect. And this one fits right into the Motu, and I'll explain later. Kind of fits into a little bit of wrestling too, but it's not. It's all Motu. But Space Sumo. I've got Mattel Creations, Space Sumo. There should be two of them in this box. We're getting ready to open that up in just a second. But the little disclaimer before we do that, I know nothing about Space Sumo. I know nothing about Sunman. When I was younger and collecting, or not really collecting when I was younger, I just had some Heman figures that I played with when I was a little kid. And by the time these last few lines of the Motu came out, I don't know, late 80s, maybe early 90s. I don't even remember when they finished. But I know they started in, 1982, and they went most of the way through the 80s. But by the late 80s, I was done playing with my toys, and then give them to my little brother, and he was playing with them. But so by that time, these last few lines of the Motu line, these characters like I don't know, like Snout Spout, and some of these end of the line figures or characters, I don't really know nothing about because I didn't have them back then, and I was already out of the game by then. But now getting back into it, I'm learning them. So, and that's Sunman, the Pig Head, Space Sumo here that we're getting ready to open up. I'm learning about them now. So just throwing that out there, that before we open this up, as we're opening up, I don't know nothing about this guy. So we're gonna take a look at it, see what I think, see what I feel about it. And for some reason, another disclaimer that I'm not so sure about, all of my Mattel Creations boxes so far have came in smaller boxes, like half this size. They're like this tall, and there's two figures in them because I always order two, one to open, one to keep closed. This one came in a box that's twice that size, so I don't know what that means. If anything, probably nothing. It's probably just more little air bubbles in here for me to throw in the trash. But let's find out. So, Mattel Creations, Space Sumo. Let's see what we got. Now, when Mattel Creations first started doing their online only figures, $1, Coldar, and all that, I missed out because I didn't really follow the online stuff. I don't shop online, as you know if you've been watching some of my videos. I just don't do online. But then I got a little behind, and I don't like to be behind. I like to be up to date and current and catching everything, because for some reason I have to be a completionist with this. which is a lot of work sometimes. But I vowed and said I would never be behind. I'm not going to miss another Mattel Creations. So I haven't. I did miss Wondar and Coldar. I haven't missed any since. I've gotten the rerun of Wondar, so I've got that on the way. That'll be here sometime next year, I think, or later this year. So the only one I've missed that I didn't get a chance to get is Coldar. So if they ever rerun Coldar, I'll be in that. But let's see what we got here. So this Mattel Creations, I didn't miss out. Like I said, I wasn't familiar with this guy, so I wasn't even sure if I was really going to get it because, you know, I don't know. To me, he's not in the He-Man line. Technically, he is in the He-Man line, so where does he fall? You know, so he is with the Masters of the Universe. He's with these Origins. I'm gonna get it. Now, if they start branching off too much into this Sunman direction, I don't know where my point will be, where I stop with it. Just depends on what they do, how they look. We all know how they function. So they're great figures that I love them, and apparently a lot of people do love them. So, which totally understand that. So, but here we go. Space Sumo coming out of the box. There's one side in his Sumo getup. He's got his headgear on. He's got his Sumo sword. Looks like he might be flying through the air there. We don't know. That's one side. And then you get to the back, which we got a little damage on the box, but you know, hey, that's why I get two sometimes. And then you got him without his headgear. Still got his sword there. What's he got? Looks like he's got. Yeah, I think he's got his mask there in his other hand right over here. So, there we go. We got Space Sumo, Rulers of the Sun, Sunman. Here's the other one. There we go. Front side, back side. This box right here is pretty good shape. So we're going to sit that guy off to the side. We're going to open this one up right here because of the box looking like it got thrown into a corner. That's all right. That's all right. We've got the and full of bubbles. Full of bubbles. Just like we thought. So let's get this guy opened up and see what he looks like. Coming out of the box, we got this cardboard piece. Just helps keep him in good shape. And as you can see, there he is down there. Let's see here. And there we go. Let's get that box out of here. The back of the packaging looks pretty cool. I'm gonna just go ahead and say that. But they all look pretty cool in this Origins line. The artwork people are freaking amazing with making this artwork very, very hard to pass up. So just taking a look at him here. Got the Sunman symbol on the front. You got him in the mask. Then you see him over here, ready to go to battle. And then all the rest is the usual, typical Masters of the Universe artwork. It says Space Sumo Telekinetic Ninja. A lot of color on this guy. He's got the black leather straps going around the black face mask. He's got the red little arm protectors there, and then he's got the green, black, and red belt and loincloth, and then the boots. So he's a pretty colorful guy here. Looks pretty good. And in the back, and once again, because I don't know Sunman and the line, I don't know who these people are. One of them here looks like King Randor. The other one looks like, gotta get a better view of him. Gotta lift up the glasses like the old man. But there we go. There's the back. You got Sunman here. Looks like he's going to battle with all of his gear on and all that stuff. You got this guy. I don't know who he is. This guy over here is the one that I thought looks like King Randor. You got some spaceships flying up here. You got another little planet going on over here. Looks like the rings of Saturn almost look like up here. But then you got this guy here that looks kind of like, if you're watching wrestling these days, he looks like Cody Rhodes. But and then this other guy on the other side, I don't know who he is. But then you got another knight right here. Don't know any of this, but hey, I'm learning. Like I said, I'm learning. Maybe I'll figure them out. I'll figure them out if they go too far into this line, and I'm still into this Sunman line. Once they go that far, then I guess I'll learn who they are. I'll learn the story of all these guys and gals, I'm sure. Let's get him opened up. Try to be easy on this package, because if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I'm not much on the artwork as far as, you know, I don't know. I keep it because usually it's just, you know, this much of it, and the rest of the card is talking about the newest wave of figures. So I keep the card back that looks, you know, like looks pretty cool up top, just because I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I might throw it away. I might make something with it. Who knows? Who knows? But I do keep it. But a lot of people are very much on the artwork. And to them, that's one of the best parts of the figure is the artwork on the back. I'm not so much like that. I think it's pretty cool. It looks really good, don't get me wrong. But I'm not the kind that's gonna ooh and ah over the artwork. Looks cool. He did a really good job. And I throw it over there. So let's see. First thing, we got him in his little plastic prison here. We get a book that says Legend of Space Sumo. So there we go. I read this. I might learn about him. And there we go. Just like I said, we got guys and gals here. We got some lady over here. I don't know whose side she's on. But you got Space Sumo here. He's got some guy right here ready to beat him up, and you got another guy coming from behind ready to beat him up. So we're gonna see what he's all about. See if he can handle himself. So I'm just kind of flipping through this comic book here. There's a lot. There's a lot to it. Got a lot of words in here. You know, with the first wave or two of these Origins, Heman didn't have too many words in them. Some of them didn't have any words at all. But this one has quite a bit. You know, it's got some pretty good little comic book here. But, put that off to the side for right now. Let's see how many bands he has holding him in here. You gotta be kidding me. There's 0. 0 bands holding this guy in. Look at that. Got a sword in there behind him. Just a loosey-goosey sword here. It's not wrapped in a bag, you know, like Mattel likes to do. They like to make us earn them accessories. Well, to start off with, the sword is pretty cool. Just looking at this, I have a Ninjor off to the side here. Same exact sword as Ninjor, so if you have Ninjor, there you've got a Space Sumo sword as well. So there's that. Good sword like that. And then we've got the Sumo. Now when I think of Sumo, I think of bigger guys, Japanese wrestlers. That's what I think of when I hear the word sumo. I don't think of some guy that's cut and ripped like that, just beating the tar out of everybody, but that's what he is. That's what they went with that, so that's his name. Now his mask. First off, just going off of the figure, it's very loose. Got a loose head. Really loose. And his mask is also pretty loose. But it'll get to right there and it stays pretty tight, but then you can't see nothing, so let's pull that off. And you got the Space Sumo. You got him unmasked. Got the old flat top haircut. But yeah, we got a pretty, oh no, it's a loose, he's got kind of a loose head, but it stays wherever I put it. You know, if I pose him this way, head stays there. Alright. Feels real loose, but it's not really. Now, of course, his leather straps here, his sword holder and straps are removable, but I don't really want to take it off right now. There's no real mystery to what's underneath it. It's just a figure. A regular figure, you know, it's just... Shoulders are pretty tight. Both of them. Elbows feel pretty good. Wrists are good, waist is good. This elbow's real tight. We'll loosen it up. Wrist is good. Knees. Knees are real good. Boots. Got some good spin to them, so they're not too tight. I'm still just surprised that they, you know, come apart right at the top of the boot. What you talking about? But you got good ankle joints, you know, and I think it's pretty cool that they come up apart at the boot for the boot. But the reason that I think it's weird is because then you've got a guy that looks, you know, it looks like his bones just sticking out of his leg. It's like he got shot in the war. He ran into a bear trap or something, you know, and his bones just hanging out. Which I guess you can make that part of your story if you want. But we got, let's get a sword in his hand. Now sometimes these accessories just won't go in their hand. Sometimes they go in there too easy and they'll fall out. But this one didn't go, it went in fairly easy. It's got pretty good, he'll hold on to that pretty good, so. Let's see, how are we gonna pose this guy? There we go. Let's put on his mask so nobody knows who he is. We can hold his sword. I don't know how sumos hold their sword. I didn't know they had swords, but I don't know, just because I'm learning this character. When I think of a sumo, I don't think of sword and masked people, because I see that, I think of a ninja. But they already have a ninja, so he had to go somewhere else. They had to go a different way with the name of the character. But I'm not sure why they went sumo, you know. I'm sure there's another word, another variation maybe of ninja. I don't know, I'm not familiar with it. But I'm just not a fan of a masked, muscular, sword-flinging sumo. Just don't seem right. Other than the name, the character's pretty cool. He looks good, it's pretty colorful. You know, does all the things that we know that an origin does, all the points of articulation. I'm just looking at his hair here. It's you can actually see the lines in his hair. I don't know if this is going to show up, but see how the top's just sticking straight up. The sides are going kind of like slick back to the back on both sides, and they come back to the back middle here. Overall, for a character that I know absolutely nothing about, other than the name, it's a pretty good figure, Not too sure about the character, but the figure is good. The masks looks just a little mummified. You know, just looks like a mummy's head there. But pretty good. Other than that, it's like I said, great figure as they all are. You know, I can't. I have yet to complain about any Motu Origins figure. He's standing on his own. I know you can't see him there, but he is standing on his own. Can't really complain about any of the figures in the Motu Origins line. This is probably the most complaints I've had of any of them, and that's just with his name. That's it. Looks, it's great. It's got some color to him. That's great. He's not just a plain Jane, boring. I guess he could be without his mask and his sword, but I guess they all are then. But oh, back to what I was saying earlier when I said this might kind of tie into wrestling figures, because when I see this figure, and maybe this is another complaint. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. To all of our Canadian friends, we've done said boot and sorry. Is that he looks like, he reminds me of the old bootleg wrestlers, you know. You know, the old bootleg wrestlers that you could find at the store for just a few dollars, or, you know, knockoffs of the Remcos here. Just very hard plastic and doesn't bend anywhere. Just, I mean, if you look at this guy and then you look at this guy, it just, I don't know, that's what he reminds me of, just because it's kind of plain. It's kind of plain. Just like this guy is. This is just an old knockoff bootleg. It just says China on his back. So I have no information on this wrestler, just like I had no information on this Space Sumo. But enough about that. Enough about that. That's why I said it kind of tied into wrestling, just because it reminded me of the old. I'll never get him to stand up again. Just reminded me of the old bootleg, you know. Which nowadays, I love the old bootlegs. You know, anytime I find a good old bootleg wrestler, I'll pick it up. If it's in decent shape, I'll pick him up. And that's probably why I went ahead and went with Space Sumo. One, he reminds me of the bootlegs. Number two, he's in Masters of the Universe and the Origins. So he's got everything going for him. Just a little bit plain Jane. Something for an old man to learn about. But enough rambling. Enough rambling. Looks good. Mattel did another good job. Not sure why this was a Mattel Creations. I think there's probably some other ways they could have went with, or some other characters they could have went with. You know, still waiting on Moss Man, still waiting on Cyclone, still waiting on quite a few others. I'm expecting Moss Man to be a Mattel Creations, which might have been a good spot to bring him out, but oh well. I'm sure we'll get him in due time. I think Mattel knows we've been waiting on Moss Man since like wave 2 or 3. I thought for sure we'd see him in wave 3, but here we are in wave, what, 12, 13 now, something like that. I don't even remember what wave number we're on, but we're getting into it, and we still haven't found a Moss Man yet, but we'll get him. Looks good though. Nice and colorful. So, but I'll end that video here. Enough negativity about the Sumo Ninja Warrior. Really, it's no negativity. It's just his name. I can't say it enough. Just his name. Everything else is great. I don't want you to think I'm nitpicking him, because I'm not. Just his name. But anyway, we'll end that video here. Be watching for another video on Tuesday. Got another Mattel Creations to open up. This one is going to be the Frogmonger coming up Tuesday. Just got him in a few days ago, and we'll open him up and see what he's all about. So to end this video, Space Sumo looks good. If you like this kind of content, toy hunts, if you're into the Motu line, Origins line, vintage Motu, wrestling, hit that subscribe button. It's a quick, easy way to help me support the channel. Let me know you like what I'm doing, maybe you're interested in the same things I am, and it's just a way to appreciate the channel, help me grow it best I can, and yeah, maybe give it a thumbs up, share the video, like, subscribe, you know, all that jazz. So I'll end it here. I'm rambling now. I'm getting to be old. I haven't made a video in forever. I just needed to talk to somebody, I guess. But thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.